Hello, New Wave of British Heavy Metal.com here. Today it is the 2nd of May 2024. Little quick favour if I can ask one of you, and that's if you would please subscribe to the channel, because that'd be marvellous and a big help, so please do click the button if you would. Today, the Blue Oyster Cult and Ghost Stories. Now, Ghost Stories isn't strictly speaking a new studio album from the Oyster Boys. There are no new songs here. Instead, it's a collection of odds and sods, which were mostly, with one exception, recorded a couple of years either side of 1980. You know, that's how far back we're going. And they must have not been at that time deemed worthy of a spot on an album. The exception that I mention is from 2016, and it is a shockingly insipid cover of the Beatles' "If I Fell." It's so bad, it should have been left left in the can and not appeared anywhere, destroyed even. It's shocking, but we'll move on from that. Speaking as a Blue Oyster Cult fan for going on half a century, of course I had to have a copy of this, as I suppose should any self-respecting BOC fan, if for nothing else completeness and a little bit of curiosity value. The story behind it appears to be that the old tapes were discovered recently, and then demixed and then remixed with some embellishments here and there, and the result being ghost stories. Rumour has it that this will be the last studio-based output from Blue Oyster Cult, which, when you think about it, is probably not surprising if it is true, because, you know, Buck and Eric are approaching 80 years each on the planet now, and, you know, you can't go on forever, can you? This came out, around about 3 weeks ago, and I've left reviewing it for a few weeks after release to give it a fair crack of the whip, as prior to getting my hands on it, I'd heard a few mixed things about it, shall we say, as to the quality of the songs. After a good few listenings, I'd say it's not that bad overall, but then again, it's not too difficult to hear why what we've got on Ghost Stories hasn't been deemed worthy of making an appearance on a Blue Oyster Cult album, you know, a legitimate one. Though that said, what one, probably 2 or 3 are up to the mark pretty much, but that said, mostly I would say aren't, and a middling to average. You know, they're not proper Blue Oyster Cult, I don't think. So what do we have? I mean, Late Night Street Fight's okay. It's quite catchy, mid-paced melodic rocker. Cherry's a sort of a chugging pop rocker with a catchy chorus and a hook. That's a grower. The real winner here is what comes next, and that is So Supernatural. To me, this is proper Blue Oyster Cult. It's a sort of a haunting, spooky, atmospheric number. It's a bit trippy, it's a bit proggy, it broods away, and it's got a nice infectious hook as well. If you think something along the lines of, say, I Love the Night crossed with Nosferatu from Spectres, it's kind of like that, and I think So Supernatural would have fitted well on Spectres, but there we go. But it is a proper Blue Oyster Cult song, I think. Other than that instantly forgettable cover of If I Fell that I mentioned a moment or two ago, there are 2 other covers here, studio covers of We Gotta Get Out of This Place and Kick Out the Jams. Now, both, of course, which were in the live set regularly back then. Personally speaking, I can do without studio covers, so we'll skip over them as well. Soul Jive plods along a bit, rather dull. I do like Gun quite a bit. That's a jaunty rocker with a bit of bite and melody. Shot in the Dark's a bit, well, average. The Only Thing's quite a well-paced melodic ballad with a bit of feeling to it. I do quite like that after a few listens. That's another grower. Money Machine's a bit forgettable, and then Don't Come Running For Me is quite classy, got a fine hook and an excellent solo. That's okay as well. It has grown on me, the album as a whole. It has grown on me since initial listens. Overall, let's try and sum it up. Overall, it will be, or it is, of interest to Blue Oyster Cult fans, as I mentioned, for completeness and curiosity. And speaking as a fan and trying to be objective, I'd say So Supernatural, Gun, the only things, and Don't Come Running to Me are quite worthy. The rest of it, not so much. Whilst it's generally competent, it's not Blue Oyster Cult really, and the covers especially, and that If I Fell, let's not talk about that. The cynical part of me suspects that, given the success of The Symbol Remains from 2020, would you believe, 4 years already, that there may have been some, what shall we say, gentle persuasion perhaps from the record company for another release from the boys, and this is what we've got. Old songs rediscovered and remixed and demixed and embellished a little bit and whatnot. If you're not too familiar with Blue Oyster Cult, I would say skip this completely and instead start with either The Symbol Remains or any of their first 3 albums from the mid-70s. The self-titled debut, Tyranny and Mutation, and especially Secret Treatise. But if you're a fan, you'll get this. So that's Blue Oyster Cult and Ghost Stories. Please do subscribe to the channel before you go, because that'd be marvellous, big help. And as always, thanks for listening, thanks for watching, and take care.